Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I am back with another template for 3 different platforms, that being Twitter, Discord server banners, and a YouTube channel banner. This design offers a lot of customization in the sense you can swap out the colors, you can swap out the characters, and of course these characters here in the background as well. Now before I get too far into this, the program I'm using here is Adobe Photoshop Creative Cloud. It is paid, you cannot get it for free, but if you cannot afford it or you don't want to pay for it, you can instead use a free option called Photopea. No downloads required, you can do everything online, and it offers much of the same functionality that Photoshop has. As you can see, if I pop it up here, all the folders are organized as how I had them in Photoshop. You can see all the layers, and we can use many of the same tools to edit these shapes. Now, the font I'm using isn't one that is a standard font, so to actually load a new font into Photopea, we go to the text tool on the left, go up to the top left corner, click down, and then select Load Fonts. And as you can see, it says load OTF/TTF file from your computer, and you just upload the font right to here and you are good to go. So with that out of the way, I'm now going to show you how you can go about customizing this banner to suit whatever style you are going for. So the first obvious edit would be the text. As you can see, this layer right here is rasterized, and what I have on it as an effect is a white outline. Now, to get the text to this stage, there was 2 different steps. As you can see, there's also a layer called Test Backup, in which I misspelled backup, of course. But if I pop that up, you can see it just says your name. And if we go to edit it, we can see the text font is Arial Rounded Empty Bold. And we can edit this as we like to something else. For example, Bob's Burgers. And you also notice now that it's no longer in alternating colors of blue and white. So to actually do that, it's exactly as painful as it seems. Select one color, not one color, select one letter that's alternating from the blue and then make it white. Just highlight over it, go up to the top where you see the little color thumbnail, click it, choose the white, and do it all the way across. So once you have that down, you'll see the blending option for this initial stroke is already applied, and there's a hex code for it just in case. And once that is done, we simply right click, rasterize layer style, and then right click on this, copy layer style, right click back on that layer, paste layer style, and now is in the same exact style that matches the rest of the banner. So let me get rid of the sign of blue, click OK, go to my move tool. I can either move it myself or I can use my arrow keys, and it's going to move by 1 pixel. I can go up, down, left, right, any direction, and as you can see, it is now moved out, similar to how I had it before. And for good measure, you can just right click rasterize layer style or leave it as is. It doesn't really matter. Now for the final customization, that's going to be, the character zone. Though as I was doing the base area, that reminds me there is one more there. So for the characters, it kind of depends on the background of the model. So for this character right here from Genshin, her name is Eula, apparently. I don't play Genshin myself. But for this right here, I think I couldn't find a render of her that was transparent. So I had to try different blending options to sort of blend her in so the background was not visible. In this case, I picked soft light. I think in this one, I pick a lighten. And the last one, I did screen. And as you can see, there is some noticeable difference. For example, this one here is a bit darker, but overall it blended pretty well and you couldn't see the backgrounds. So let's say I want to drop in a new character. I'm going to do Control V to paste in my new character. Just depends on how you're bringing your model in. And do Control T on my keyboard using holding Alt and scrolling my mouse to zoom in and out. And I'm going to rotate that down. Well, not rotate it, just move it down. And you might have to hold Shift while you're scaling it down to keep it proportional. So I'm going to place her right there. Then let's try first soft lights. See how screen looks. An overlay. I'm thinking soft lights. I'm just going to drop the opacity, and there we go. We now have a new character in the image. And if I'm changing to a completely new color, it's also super simple. Go to the base layer, which this is clipping onto. This case is called Right. Go to blending options, color overlay, and it's generally just good practice to sample a color from your model that you're using. The model is going to be a theme of your banner. Let's say it's going to be this reddish color. Okay. Make sure you right click rasterize layer style. Otherwise, as you can see, our character is not going to be showing up because the color overlay takes precedence over anything that's clipped onto it. So right click, rasterize layer style, and we can adjust from here to get the character showing up again. And then last edit would be down in the base area, and this is going to be for the grid. So the grid, you may have noticed, has a slight shade of blue to it, and that's of course to match the rest of the banner. But don't forget, if you're switching the color scheme to something else, to right click, blending options, color overlay, and in this case I'm making it red. And because red's a bit of a stronger color, you might need to drop the opacity a tad, or you can leave it as is, completely up to you. And don't even worry about rasterizing it. In fact, I'd recommend not rasterizing it. Actually, no, there's no reason you shouldn't rasterize it, or you should rasterize it, just up to you. Just leave it as is if you wish. And yeah, I think that's basically all of the ways you can go about customizing this banner to suit your style. The Discord version has a character model pretty small. You can blow her up if you want to. Not blow her up as in with a bomb, but blow her up to be a larger size. And this last one is, of course, the YouTube one, and pretty straightforward. You can edit this bottom text here. For example, since the YouTube one is so large, what you could probably do is put one here and then put one over there. That might look pretty nice. Maybe a third one down here. I don't know, up to you, or maybe something like that. You can play around with it. It's completely yours, free to use as much as you wish, wherever you wish. Hope you found this helpful. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. And as usual, I'll include a download to both the fonts and all the files in the description. Other than that, have an awesome day.